If you're willing to get in touch with helper spirits, you can do this. And it's a matter of cautiously and safely, first of all, accepting it. Because if you go into an exercise or a practice and you don't believe it, you don't accept it, it won't work for you, right? If you start jogging, for example, and you find that you're huffing and puffing very quickly and you go, oh, I can't do this, and you give up, well, of course you're not going to do it. So it doesn't come snap of the finger. You know, we live in a microwave culture, I call it, because we want beep, 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 and it's all done. But sometimes it's a matter of being very patient and being very prepared for something. Now, we like to put everything under our judgment in this day and age, and quick to cancel off this and that, what doesn't suit us. Oh, it doesn't suit me right now, then I'm getting rid of it. Well, the best things in life don't come without a fight. This is very true. Okay? Now, for over 10 years, here's a quick thing on myself, very personally. I have accessed the spirit world, and I'm still going, and it's still tricky, and it's still mysterious. Nobody has all the answers. But the main thing is to get in touch with your greater, higher awareness, recognizing the Holy Spirit with you, and then you can start to see friend from foe. The recognition, first and foremost, is that working under the will of God, the directive, you have your friends. Me personally, I have a few very tall, very powerful friends on the other side, and I have a little, let's call it a gnome type creature and dimensional being, because I don't know what else to really call it. Okay, and this little guy is very cute, and I know it's hard to believe. We say, oh no, this is a madness, this is a fairy tale, this is nonsense. Did you investigate and did you experience it? That's the question I'm going to ask you though. Okay? The fact of stories going back for thousands of years on this subject, God asking us to be aware of these things from the beginning, and then we say no, 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 no. Well, that's the adversary. The fear and doubt is often from the adversary. Now, for a lot of people that are from a staunch Christian background, and I used to be, yes, me too. In my very early 20s, I was very strict, very much trying to convert everybody, and I very much did not appreciate the higher subtle teachings that are very compatible with Christ's own message. Okay, and that's just one religion. I recommend to read many of them, put them all together, you get a very nice picture. So, you can do it. A lot of people already have done it. They've done it from the beginning and they will keep doing it. Now, there's no name for the mysticism you get into. You know, I could call myself a shaman for the fun of it, wolf shaman. That's my own personal name. In my own spiritual joy, for the mere fact of it suits me. But there's no name. When you get into the mysteries, you don't have to give yourself a name of anything. You just live with it. So, getting in touch with the Holy Spirit, getting the understanding and recognition that you have helper friends, and then you can start to work with them, or allow them, I'll put it in an even better way, allow them to work with you and help you out. You can begin asking them for help with dreams. We all have dreams all the time. You can literally, actually, factually ask the Holy Spirit, your helper guides, to assist you with a dream. They can do it. It doesn't mean that very night, or it doesn't mean you're going to even remember the dream you got that very night. It could be a subtle thing in the back of your consciousness, and it helped you that way. And whether you even knew it or not, you're going to start to get a whole new outlook. Planting a seed, let the plant grow for a little bit. Water it. Or like the Buddha said, the way consciousness and understanding and awareness grows, throwing a small stone in the water and watching the ripples expand, the rings of awareness get larger and larger as they go. So something very small, something even a very beginning initiatory step becomes this great ocean of knowledge and awareness for you and for me. Now, the helper spirits are all over the planet and all over the planets, and in between all the space of the planets, and I say planet meaning a plane of existence, physical or non-physical. And these are great buddies. You can... Now, I want to interject this quickly, because the thought just came to me that I'm supposed to tell you, is that don't have a preconceived idea of what you want your helper spirit to be, and saying that, like, to look like, even to put it that way, to look like. You could say, oh, I want to have a fairy-looking creature, 3 feet tall with wings, that helps me and talks to me. Well, your helper could form itself to look like that for you. But what I'm saying about this is not to judge and not to try and mold too much what you want a helper spirit to look like or to be like. It could be something that you have no idea, you know. For example, I didn't ask for a short little dwarf or a short little gnome to be one of my helper buddies, but it just happened to be the case. And, you know, I accept it. It's excellent. And that's fine by me. You know, you acquire them as you go along, and it may not be exactly what you like at first, or not that you don't like it, but what you expected. When we put expectations, then we get upset when they don't come to be. In Hinduism and in Buddhism, and in many teachings throughout the world, a lot of our struggles exactly have to do with that. Expectations are desires that didn't get fulfilled, and then we got all upset about it because it didn't come in the way we wanted it, in the time we wanted it, in the exact style we wanted it. But you'd be surprised. Now, I can't go on, because if I could talk for an hour or 2 hours, but no one's going to watch the whole video. After part 2 or part 3, I'll have no more listeners, probably. Except for a few, perhaps. But the fact is, the information is available for you online, at the library, in the bookstore. But do it in holiness, do it in safety. A lot of people like to access these things for the mere sake of powers. Well, don't do it for powers. You're going to get a nasty surprise. If you go into it saying, I want helper spirits because I want to know truth about somebody, or I want to be able to walk on water, or I want to be able to levitate. Yeah, those things are all possible. You could do it, I could do it. But the fact is, it's not about that. It's not about going into the spirit world and getting contact with the divinity and getting helper spirits so as to manipulate, because if we do things like that, then we failed the purpose. If you say, I want to get a helper spirit so I can go attack that person, that's the dark side. That's nonsense. Okay? I will recommend a book that's very interesting. A series of books by an author, and a lot of you maybe have heard of this. But for an interesting introduction on helper spirits and dimensional beings, and getting in touch with becoming someone who's a mystic, someone who gets access to the powers unseen and the other realities, go look at the Carlos Castaneda books, starting with The Teachings of Don Juan, A Separate Reality, Journey to Ixtlan, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not going to say that everything in those books were exactly a pure autobiography that he was saying. Some of it is allegorical, some of it's metaphorical, but a lot of it is not. A lot of it is a cute way of saying these things are so, and that's why they were so popular. So that's just one way. Go look at books on shamanism, go look at books on mystical practices, go look at books on, even, and especially perhaps if you're in the Western background, go look at Christian mysticism, the early contact that people had with the immediate Holy Spirit. It got lost throughout the time in many ways, but there have always been mystics every year being born. And in those early times, people were very mystical. They were very into the Holy Spirit, very alive with it. So that's something that you and I can do very easily if we but try. So the first thing of all, and I'm going to stress it again, get in contact, get in touch with the Holy Spirit, the one source of God, as your best friend, as your guide. After that, you can start to look at different ways that might suit you if you want to, and go into talking with and working with your guides and friends. You'll recognize them with other people. You'll see the guides and start to see the friends around other people in their homes. You can hear noises and different things and have a little smirk and a little wink because you understood it. Some people are having a very hard time accepting these things simply because they were told it's not true. Simply because the grandfather religions became, over time, strict militant prison religions that told you, don't you dare talk to God, don't you dare talk to spirits, that's of the devil, and leave that stuff for the priest, right? And what did that do? That empowered them and, well, took away your right, took away your powers to access these things. Let no other human being tell you how close you are to God or not. Even the big fear in the world right now of this satanic cults and Illuminati, those guys, for any power they have or don't have, it doesn't matter. You have your own unique relationship with the divine, and no other person can take that away. It's between you. It's the immediate presence living within and living without you. You have it now. So, see what you want to do with that or not. But that's my quick little chit chat in the morning here. And I can tell you I'm very pleased and happy with the access that I've got to that, and more so where I see it going, because there's still lots of room to grow, but where I see it going is very excellent. And this is the greatest security and the greatest comfort. Becoming a mystic was the best thing I could ever have done in my life. And it's better than a job with lots of money, it's better than any prestige, it's better than any fame and glory. Getting into the mystic and being confident and having access to great realities is the best thing that one could possibly do, because then you are empowered anywhere in any condition. So think about that. If you're interested in getting deeper into the mystic, do it. Do it cautiously, do it with love and holiness. Ask gently and meekly for it, and it will come. If you're ready, you'll get more than you want. You'll get overflowing, an overabundance of it. Trust me. Very true. Alright? Talk to you soon on another video, and good luck with everything. Cheers.